Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode. Where we at? 1109. It has been whirl. I've got bags under my eyes, but here I am. It's been a week. It's been a week. It's Tops week. Valentine. I've got a card show on Sunday that I am ill prepared for at this moment, and it's already Thursday. So we're going to talk a little bit about Top Series 1. We're going to talk sales. Whew, holy moly. We're going to talk about some fun stuff today. And it was quite the Valentine's Day. We started our romantic day. My wife and I started our romantic Valentine's Day right after Hobby Evolution with a trip to the vet. And so I've talked about Biscuit has a heart condition. So we've been watching her closely. She wasn't herself a couple days this week. And we didn't know, is it the heart? Is it side effects from her medication? But she was definitely off. I mean, there were times where she would she's just kind of an independent dog. Like when I work down here, she's got a perch on the couch and she just kind of hangs out until it's time to go for a WALK or time to go potty. She doesn't come down here unless the cleaners are here or somebody's here that I don't like loud noises. So she comes down here and hangs out. So when it's just a random day and she comes down and she's like pawing at me, it's like, oh, this isn't good. So I'm like, well, maybe she's got to go potty. And she's just like, and my wife's like, she's just really extra clingy. So what's today? Thursday. So Tuesday was probably the worst day. And she would just start shaking. And I'm like, is it a seizure? It wasn't seizure. It wasn't it was seizing. But sometimes she gets when she gets scared, she shakes. All dogs probably do that. So she did that. So we took her to the vet yesterday, and her breathing was same. Nothing different there. Her heartbeat and everything sounded fine. Her lungs were clean. So my wife and I are both telling the vet okay, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. One thing that's been going on for a couple weeks now is she shakes her head, and sometimes she'll just shake it like that. But she's been shaking her head a lot. And it's like, oh, what's going on? Does she have ear hair or something? What's going on? So the vet's like, okay, let me take a look at her ears. And so she went into one ear. She's like, nope, this is clean. And she takes the swab and she goes into the other ear and she's like, oh, there's a lot of swooshing. There's definitely something in here. So they took her into the operating room or whatever. They get in there and the vet comes back and Biscuit's happy. I know why. They pulled it looked like a turd. It looked like a small turd that came out of her. I'm like, that was in her. No wonder she was scared and feeling like shit. So she had an ear infection. She had a whole bunch of so that got out of there, and she's got some ear drops that we've got to do for another week or so. And she was herself. We come home and it's like, okay, you want to come downstairs? And she's like, no. Okay, she's back to her. Okay, this is what we want. We want normal Biscuit. So that was the start to our romantic Valentine's Day. Of course, then we go our separate ways. Me to the basement, my wife to the office, and I did a lot of sorting and listing. I'm going to go into more Top Series 1. It's just, I'm going to tell you, Top Series 1 is the best product to flip. Best product to flip. Best ROI. If you know what you're doing, you do it right, and you're fast. Sales were absolutely insane yesterday. So, and I'm still listing. In fact, right before I went on, I was listing, some base cards, basically. All the inserts, silver pack, singles, those are all on. The autographs and relics have all been listed. Many of them sold already. Now I'm just finishing up the last, 100 or so, 50, 75 base cards. So get those up, and then several hundred items to ship. So I think as of right now, as of hitting the live button, I was at 334 orders to ship. So it's going to be a very busy day in the shipping room. So we'll talk more on Topps Series 1. So that was my day. And then in the evening, it's like I did go to the grocery store. Oh, I have a grocery store story. Okay. So we need some groceries, and it's Valentine's Day. I haven't done anything yet for my wife. So it's like, I better get her some flowers. So our Metro Market, where we go to the grocery store, they have like a floral section. And so go in there, and like every other dude in like a 3-mile radius is in there and getting flowers also. So I find it nice. And of course they get like the Valentine. There's probably an upcharge, but hey, that's what the price you pay for Valentine's Day. So I get some groceries. I'm in line, and there's a new checker. There's a new so I go there this often that I know when there's new employees at the grocery store. That's sign of, okay, going too much. So there's a new checker. He's kind of a stoner guy. And I don't know what it is with these grocery store guys, but they love the frozen breakfast burritos, man. Sean's usually there. And like every time he's like, oh, I love these. You know what you do? And I go, I know exactly what you put some little hot sauce. And I know exactly what you do, because you tell me every single time I come in here. So this dude, he like stoner guy. And he's like, oh man, these are good. He's like, these are the perfect hangover food. And I'm like, oh yeah, I bet so. And he's like, yeah, I was with a buddy, and back in college, and which was probably like 3 years ago, younger guy. And back in college, and not that we did it a lot, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. So I got vinegar, because I use the vinegar to, I'll use it this summer for pickles, but I also have to clean my damn coffee. My coffee maker's been working fine after I ran some vinegar through it the other day. So I had to get vinegar mainly for the coffee maker. So it's, a big gallon jug or whatever. And I could have swore I put it on the belt, but it's in my cart. I guess I just wasn't paying attention. Maybe the burrito talk threw me off. So I look down, it's the only thing in my cart. I'm like, oh, did you get this? And he's like, oh, no, let me scan that. And he's like, oh, wait, yeah, I did. Oh, my God. So anyway, I load my groceries up, come home, and putting things away. And all of a sudden there's a bag. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is this? I thought maybe it was the deli meat that I got. No. It's chicken. I'm like, wait, I didn't buy any chicken. It's barbecue chicken. It looks good. I'm like, okay. And then there's like meatballs, and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have bought those. And I recalled there was a lady in front of me and she was bagging her own groceries, because they didn't have a bagger at the time. So she's just going to work bagging. She must have forgot it, and the dude put it in my cart. And I was like hit with this, what do I do moment? Like, it's 5:00, even though it's only a couple miles to the grocery store. It's a pain in the ass, because it's, there's a lot of traffic. And I'm like, I've got shit to do. Like, I don't want to drive back to the grocery store and say, hey, this isn't mine. But at the same time, it's perishable, like fresh chicken. And it's like, if you take it back, will they even accept it? It's a small it's a chain, but they probably would. Oh yeah, we'll take that back. We'll put it back in the meat counter. I'm sure that's like a health code violation, but I'm hit with this conundrum. So I left it in the bag and put it in the fridge. So when my wife came home, I'm like, okay, she's gonna have a good answer. Like, I don't know Like, I'm not going back now because I've got shit to do, but maybe I'll go back tomorrow. That was my thought. I'll just take it back tomorrow and say, hey, somebody. So that was my plan. Had I not consulted with my wife. So my wife gets home. She's like, oh, you got me flowers. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm romantic. And I go, so I got a question. I'm like, so they put like, they gave me a bag that's not mine. She's like, oh, what is it? I'm like, well, it's this barbecue chicken. And she's like, well, would you eat it? And I'm like, hell yeah. And then my meatballs, which were spicy meatballs. And she's like, well, I'm not going to eat either of these. And she's like, well, will you eat them? And I'm like, well, should I take them back? And she's like, no. And I'm like, no, really? I'm like, okay, that'll save me a trip. So what would you do? Would you go back? Would you take time out of your day to go back? It was like there was the chicken was on like, it was like a clearance, like $2.96. So I probably have to make it like today. Otherwise it's going to go bad. And the meatballs were, I probably won't even eat the meatballs. I don't know. We'll see. But what would you do in that scenario? Would you go back right away? See, I don't want to, could I make the time? Yes, but then I'm taking time away from getting all of this damn tops listed and taking time out of my day. Like, I don't have the time to do that. So it's in my fridge. It might not even get used. I'm like, oh, well, I can throw these on the grill. And guess what I woke up to this morning? Fucking snow. Our fall spring is over. Welcome back to winter. I knew it was coming. Like, we're going to get a couple more. There's enough snow that I'm going to have to shovel. I don't think there's enough to snow blow, but there's definitely enough to shovel the sidewalk. So actually by noon, I think it's supposed to be above freezing again today anyway. So it'll probably melt off the sidewalks. It's been warm lately. So we'll see. So that was my day. Oh, and then it's getting close to dinner time, and I'm like, so what do you want to do for dinner? And my wife's like, how about Culver's? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. So hit up the Culver's drive-through and had a crispy chicken sandwich and a strawberry shake. That was Happy Valentine's Day. My wife went with the chocolate. Actually, I chose the chocolate shake because she didn't tell me, and I'm like, oh. And then you get paralysis at the drive-thru, especially Culver's. I don't go to Culver's that often. It's like, what do they have? Like every other fast food, they have chicken, burgers, and fish. That's what they have. So I looked at the menu, but then when I got to the drive-thru and I got right up there and I'm putting my wife's order in, I'm like, and he's like, what do you want to drink? And I'm like, oh shit, she didn't tell me. So then I'm like, I'm like, I don't have time to text her. I'm there. It's like, make a decision. Snap decision. Chocolate shake. So she was happy with the chocolate shake. Happy wife, happy life. There you go. So that was, and then after dinner, after our Culver's dinner, it was down to the basement, and I was on with Charlie and Adam last night on the Dollar Box channel. If you didn't watch it live last night, check it out on replay over on the Dollar Box channel here on YouTube. We went, Charlie, I see Charlie's in the chat this morning. I think we went 2.5 hours. Like, I'm like starting to like fade, and I'm looking at the chat. We're like an hour and 15 minutes behind the chat. And I'm like, I don't have another hour in me. I don't know if I have 20 minutes in me. So we could have gone. Adam joked like it might be a 6-hour show. And if I could stay up that late, it could have been a 6-hour show. So check that out. Good times last night with Adam and Charlie. Victor, what's going on? Good morning. There's Charlie. He's listing and shipping and drinking coffee. Oh my. Tasty coffee. Donald, what's going on? Good morning. Brian is here. What's happening? Kyle's in the house. Good morning. David, what's going on? James, what's up? He said, with a card like that, Ichiro, you ever try to sell higher end cards outside of eBay? The fees have to be $150 plus on that card after sales. I don't care. That's the pleasure of doing business. Here's the thing. If I sold that card off eBay, here's what I had to do on eBay. I'll gladly pay the eBay fees. 12% on 700. It sold for $750. Gladly spend that on eBay. I took a few pictures. I stuck it on eBay. I fielded offers. I sold it. I'll ship it. Happily ever after. If I sold it off eBay, I've got to find a buyer myself. I can't just put it on a website and let buyers come to me. I've got to go sell it. If I go to a card show this weekend, it's already 5 days in. Now it's a numbered of 5, so it's, maybe I can get something, but you're going to am I going to find an Ichiro collector or a buyer for it? Maybe. Am I going to get $750 locally at a card show? Maybe, maybe not. I'll take my chances on eBay and whatever. Let's see. 10% is 75 plus 2 is 15. So it's about $90 in fees. So a 660 net, I'll gladly take. Am I going to get 660 at a card show? And when will I get it? Who knows? So I'm all about the eBay fees. I mean, I don't like them. But it's the cost of running an efficient business. So there's an opportunity cost to everything. So that money is going to be in my bank account today. I don't have to wait. I don't have to work for it. I just had to take a few pictures, spend 30 seconds on a listing, and boom, sold it. Well worth the $90 in fees. Philly Joe, good morning. I know you probably have answered this before. Looked in your store and saw that baseball card ends all of your 2024 Series 1 listings. Can you discuss? Absolutely. So, and I've talked about this many times. This is all about search. This is all about how people search. Anybody who's watching this YouTube show, you're probably not typing in baseball card on eBay. Where do you think the number one place to buy cards is, just generally speaking? Not just with us, because, we poll this crowd today. There's going to be ComC, Sport Lots, local card shows, card shop, blah, 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 blah. You pull 10 people that are not hobby, into the hobby like we are, and they're going to be like, oh, probably Walmart. In eBay. I go to eBay. Okay. And what are those people that are not in the hobby like us? If Grandma Ruth, that was my grandma's name, one of my grandma's name. If Grandma Ruth, say little boy Bo, wanted a Joe Montana football card, Grandma Ruth's going to be like, well, little Bo likes football cards, and his favorite player is Joe Montana. Of course, they didn't have the internet back then. eBay wasn't around in 1989. But if it was, Grandma Ruth would be like, well, I'm going to go to eBay and I'm going to look for Joe Montana football cards. What's Grandma Ruth going to type in the search bar? Probably Joe Montana football card. So that's the thought behind why I put baseball card in all of my listings, because that's exactly what I'm selling. Sure, I'm selling a 2024 Topps Bryce Harper, but what is it? It's a baseball card. That should be like the first thing. I mean, that's what you're selling, a baseball card. So that's the method behind my madness. Charlie says, glad it was just an ear infection and nothing more serious. Yes, it was excellent news. And I mean, it was almost immediately after they took the crap out of her ear, she was like back to her normal self. It's like, oh, thank God. Tea Timer, what's up? Top of the morning. Kyle says, not to go all LRS on you, but I saw you sold some of the big cards after I checked out the store on Seeing Tweeter. Yeah. The Ichiro sold. So so I'll tell you a little background. I'll tell you all the steamy details on the Ichiro sale. So I had the Ichiro red auto listed for $1,000 or best offer. My first offer was $700. Which came within 5 minutes. And then I think I had 3 more offers come in. So I think by the time it sold, I had 4 offers, and I was getting close to accepting that $700 offer. And the other offers I think were 500, 400, and I think 370. My minimum, I didn't say this yesterday because I didn't want to spoil it, but my minimum was 350. So I wasn't accepting any offers below 350. So anything above 350, it came to me and I can, accept, counter, decline. So the 700 was a very strong offer, but I wanted to let it run its course, for the 24-hour clock, or near 24-hour clock, and then before accepting. The person who sent me the $700 offer actually bought it at full price, but he also bought other cards. So he got the 25% off discount. That's smart. I made an extra $50 on the Ichiro because I would have accepted his 700 offer if no other stronger offers came in. And he bought, I think he ended up buying like 8 cards. So I sold 7 additional cards, and I think they weren't like 99-cent cards. They were, there was like I think a $10 card, a $5 card. So I mean, it ended up being a nice sale. So yeah, I sold that. I ended up selling the Ellie De La Cruz rainbow foil. I think that went for 70. What else? The Aaron people shit on the commemorative relics. My Aaron Judge commemorative medallion sold for $25. So, but it's also the first day of release. So you're going to get those strong sales. So yeah, those sold. I sold an auto for $20. What else sold? Like somebody came in and bought all my Jason Dominguez rookies for $10 each. A lot of my Ellie De La Cruz. I don't know if I've sold the Ellie De La Cruz base rookies. I haven't, I didn't do any shipping yesterday, and that's why I'm way behind today, or going to be way behind. But I think I've sold all of the Ellie De La Cruz insert cards, which I pulled quite a few. I sold a lot of the silver packs. I think I'm still sitting on like over 30 offers that I just wanted to let them run their course. Cause I mean, I would have my phone, I would check my phone and I'd have like 25 sales and I'd clear it out and I'd sort, and like 20 minutes later I'd go and there're like 40 sales. I mean, it was just like coming every left and right. It was fun. I wish every day was like this. A lot of fun. Like, man, it reminded me of the height of the COVID boom. Like, open your phone to 20 sales every half an hour. It was wonderful. T-Timer says, did Card Dealer Pro recognize all the 2024 cards? No, in fact, the checklist is not in the database yet. So I'm not sure when the checklist will be in the database. I know it's on TCDB because I did add the Dylan Cease to my Dylan Cease collection on Trading Card Database. I'm not sure if they're on Sport. I'm sure they're on Sport Lots. Back when I was selling on Sport Lots, the checklists were usually up. And this was also when checklists were, now this checklist has been up for, the 2024 Topps checklist has been out for a month. It came out, I was at the Cubs convention when I saw it. So it's been out for a month. Sport Lots was always good with getting those checklists up. Back in the day when Topps would release the checklist like clockwork a week before release, Sport Lots would always have it because I would go in and I would rip cases and flip, and I would put all of my I would like, well, I know I'm going to get at least this many cards. I'd load them up into Sport Lots and I'd make basically pre-sales, and I'd make a ton. I'd make half my money back on the case just selling commons on Sport Lots. So no, Card Dealer Pro does not yet recognize 2024, and the checklist isn't even there. So basically, I use Card Dealer Pro as a vehicle for their spreadsheet and their photo hosting. So I scan the cards in, upload them to Card Dealer Pro. They don't recognize any. I export the spreadsheet, and then I just work out of the spreadsheet, basically like you're doing file exchange. So that's how I've been listing all my 2024 Topps. Brian says, my grocery store had Caitlin Clark cereal. Got one box of that and one blaster of Absolute. Found my first CJ Stroud. We'll flip this fall. Nice. Caitlin Clark cereal. I bet that sells for a really, because I'm sure it's local to the Iowa area, and Quincy's right on the border there. I wonder, let's look that up. I wonder what you could flip Caitlin Clark cereal for on eBay. Now in like 10 years, as we found out, like cereal boxes and cereal does not retain that value over time. Caitlin Clark cereal. I've got a Caitlin Clark Bowman Chrome, not her first, but I need to just get it listed. Looks like the boxes of cereal are listed for $30 to $35. Have any sold? Lots of them sold. You can buy, somebody bought a case of Caitlin Clark cereal, an unopened 12-box case of Crunch Time Caitlin Clark cereal. So the latest single box of Caitlin Clark cereal sold for $28 shipped. This one sold for $22 shipped, $26 shipped, $35 shipped, $45. Oh, that's 2 boxes. So yeah, they're running between $20 and $30 on eBay. Oh, I don't know what's it cost in the store. 5, 6, 8. So after fees and shipping, it's for me, that's not like, and you're probably thinking to yourself, but you flip cards and make like 25 cents on them. Why, if you make $5, but it's the thought of having to box up, you have to box it up, the box of cereal, box it up, then you have to run the dimension. Like it's not as easy as like, here's the card, put it in an envelope, toss it aside. A little more work going into boxing up a box of cereal. But hey, if it works for others, good. Team Kansas Cards, what's going on? Good morning. Tea Timer says, great impression of Spicoli. Mr. Archer, good morning. Mikey's in the house. Good morning. I have my card show Saturday. Oh, this Saturday. Nice. Card show in Indiana, Saturday. Christian, what's going on? Good morning. Your snow has arrived in Michigan. Boo. Yeah, we've got some snow here. I think Minnesota got hit with several inches of snow. Fortunately, we only got, what's out there? 2 inches, maybe? Probably 2 inches. Zach and Porter says, good morning. I contributed to 3 or 4 2024 Topps baseball card sales, and thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. He loves the Culver's strawberry shake. Yes. You know what I love the most? Banana shakes. And I get this from my dad. My dad loved banana shakes. And like as a kid, you just want like fucking every piece of chocolate known to man in your shake. Like sugar, we need sugar. But as I've grown, now I like the simpler, like strawberry shake does it. And it was damn good. So yes, it is. I loved it. I love me some banana shakes. I'm trying to find banana ice cream. You cannot find banana ice cream. And I'm sure like there's probably 4 of us in the entire nation that would buy banana ice cream. I found some delicious banana ice cream when my wife was in Florida. And, so I'm buying all the junk food. And I'm like, oh, that was good. It was like, oh, I can't wait to get another pint of this. And I go back the very next time. It's not there anymore. So every time, and I went to Walmart when I was at Walmart last week, I'm looking at their ice cream section, no banana ice cream. Yesterday, I'm looking at the ice cream section just to make sure, and I'm looking at every single no banana. They have like a Bananas Foster from somewhere, but it's like $8 for like a half pint or something. It's one of those foo-foo. I like, no, just give me some, I'll take the cheap stuff. But whatever I had, it was awesome. And now I can't find it. I bet Metcalf's has it, the expensive grocery store. So maybe if I really get a sweet tooth for banana ice cream, I'll drive to Metcalf's. Mikey says, do anything fun last night? Yeah, I went to the Culver's drive-thru, and my wife and I had a romantic dinner of Culver's, and then I went on a baseball card podcast here on YouTube. It was quite the balance. My wife worked from her recliner, And I was on a baseball card podcast. Joe Trotto, what's up? Good morning. Philly Joe, you are welcome. Ryan Sells, what's up? Good morning. Troy is here. What's up? Hey, didn't I just see you last night? Johnny M, good morning. Congrats on the Ichiro sale. Nice price. My best card from 4 jumbos was Mike Schmidt of 25, sold for 100. Nice. So 4 jumbos set you back about. So that paid for a box. Paid for a box. That's a really good hit. That's like way better. Did I share my hits from yesterday? Like my autograph hits were, and these like they're selling for higher than what I thought, because I'm thinking like 6 months down the road, these are going to be $3 autos. But I think this sold at full price for $15. And I'll just finish. Jordan Adams, this I thought was going to sell. I thought I would go higher than what, like I think it's listed for 15. I sold Dominic Canzone, I've never heard of, and I had like a couple offers on him. It sold for 20. And the Endy Rodriguez, I've got this too high priced. I priced it at other listing comps. There were no sales comps. Obviously, it's still day one. So I think I'm probably going to go. I don't think I've taken any offers. Once I get everything listed this morning, I'm going to go through, look at the offers, and maybe adjust some pricing. Normally, I don't adjust pricing, but there are some stuff that, okay, I think it's time to adjust pricing on this. Victor says, so how does that sale work with eBay authentication? Do you have to ship those 8 cards separate? That's a really good question, because I was wondering that myself. The strange thing is, I've sold cards that should go through authentication that have not gone through authentication. And then I've sold cards that it's like, why did that go through authentication? Let me see if I can find. Hey, it actually popped up on the eBay app. Ichiro. So I don't think it's even split up. No, I ship it straight to the buyer. That is strange. $750 sale. List price was $1,000, and it's not going through authentication. Yeah, I'm shipping it straight to him, and it's in this order. That's bizarre. That is really bizarre. And actually the fees are a lot less than, let me bring that up again. Oh no, the fees were right at 90. Where's that at? The fees were 100 total on the entire order. So yeah, which puts the fees on that maybe a little higher than 90, maybe 92. John says, I bought my 2024 Series 1 card last night. I'm good until the full set comes out. There you go. JW, what's up? Zach says, I'm glad you were able to grab the Wander relic. Stay true to your hobby. $20 or so on eBay, says Brian. Oh, on the Caitlin Clark cereal. Costs $4 in the store. That's a good, wow. Man. So I would say, if you do, and I like what the sellers that lotted them up, like at least it makes it, you're making more than $4 or $5 for the work you're putting into it. The cereal boxes will be available for $1.50 in 2 years. Be patient. That's when I get cereal boxes in bulk buys, I usually throw them away because they're worthless. Like old Wheaties boxes, even with Michael Jordan on them, like they're not worth shit. I think I've got a Pete Rose Wheaties box, but it's not like a complete Wheaties box. It's just basically the front. I've kept it because it's cool. It's older, it's from, I think, the late 70s. So there might be some value to it, but like when you get into the 80s and 90s, like those cereal boxes just take up space and throw them in the recycle bin. Brian says it's just going on my shelf in my office. There you go. I missed out on the Mahomes Crunch. Donald needs to drive to Quincy to buy some cereal. There you go. Well, maybe Macomb has some. Macomb's kind of close to Iowa, 35, 40 miles. Maybe it reached Macomb. Huddle Card, what's going on? Good morning. Red Light, what's up? He wants to know what time and where is your card show. Drop that in the chat. John says your dad had taste buds left. My dad was a heavy smoker. That's a good point. Like I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. With all those cheap cigarettes. What's up, Peter? Good morning. Merle, what's happening? Good morning from Minnesota, land of 10,000 icy roads. Hey, we've got some of that snow here. It's warm enough, or it will warm up, and it's right at freezing. So hopefully it'll. Our high today is like 37, so hopefully it melts the snow off the streets and sidewalks. John says, I love banana everything. There was a banana ice cream with Nilla wafers. That's what I had. And it was amazing. And now I can't find it, at least in my one grocery store that I go to. But yes. And I also love bananas. Banana might be the only fruit that I enjoy as a fruit and as a flavor. Now I love you say, well, you just had a strawberry shake last night. I do like strawberry flavors for the most part. You know what? Take that back. I love strawberry flavor also. I'll eat strawberries, but I don't eat strawberries regularly. I eat bananas regularly. I don't eat, strawberries aren't really, bananas are always in season, right? It's not like we have banana trees in our, we don't have a sea of banana trees here. So we're importing all of that. Strawberries are more we can go to the grocery store and buy strawberries, but it's like, oh, you don't want to buy them out of season. What other fruit flavoring is there? Like there's got to be something that I just like, where I either like the flavor and hate the fruit, or like the fruit and hate the flavor. I don't know. I'll have to think on that. Merle says, my fiance loves the banana ice cream, but you got to hit the ice cream store on the right days for it. Interesting. Maybe I just need to go to like a specialty store. Do they have ice cream stores? That would be cool. We do have the chocolate shop. I wonder if the chocolate shop has a banana ice cream. The chocolate shop's a very popular ice cream spot here. What a chocolate shop. Chocolate Shop Ice Cream Company. There's one in Middleton. Let's see what their flavors are. Let's just share the screen so you can enjoy the wonderful flavors with me. So this is a local ice cream place. There we go. Flavors. There's one in Middleton. It's conveniently located right next to Jet's Pizza, which, hey, nothing like stirring up my indigestion with pizza and ice cream. Super premium ice cream. Look at all these. So these are all the banana cream. Boom, right at the top. Banana cream pie. Hell yeah. Well, maybe I know what I'm doing this weekend. Birthday cake. I'm a big birthday cake ice cream fan. Black cherry, that's what I can do without. I don't like cherries, but I love cherry flavoring. I see there's chunks of cherry, and I can't do chunks of cherry. Can't do it. No. Black licorice ice cream sounds awful. Black walnut, never was really a fan of black walnut ice cream. Blackberry lemon bar, I mean, if it was, I certainly wouldn't choose it among all of these flavors. But if you had it in your freezer and you're like, I only have blackberry lemon bar, I'd eat it. Blue Moon, I like the color. I don't know if I'd like the taste, but I probably would. Blueberry cheesecake, I'd be all about that. Bourbon, do you say pecan or pecan? I say pecan. Bourbon pecan pie. I'd eat that. Brownie Cascade, too chocolatey for me. I would not eat that. Butter pecan, it's okay. Wouldn't be my favorite. Ooh, cake batter fudge. That sounds pretty good. Cappuccino break. Caramel apple pie. It's seasonal. That sounds pretty good. Caramel chaos. That sounds fun. Cherry chocolate chip sounds absolutely disgusting. That may be the one thing I despise the most of like desserts is cherry and chocolate. Ugh, I want to throw up. Cherry and chocolate. Absolutely awful. Hate it. All right, so here you see they have a ton of flavors. Look at that. Eggnog, which is seasoned. Gumball, Fat Elvis. Kitty Kitty Bang Bang. I don't know about that one. Lemon Poppy Seed. That sounds interesting. Party Animal. That sounds fun. Munchie Madness. There you go. My stoner buddy at the grocery store. That's probably what he's eating. Peanut butter cookie dough. Ooh, I don't know if I've ever had that. Pistachio. That's my favorite gelato from Talenti. What else? Ooh, rhubarb crumble. I'd be interested. I love me some rhubarb. Rhubarb pie, strawberry rhubarb, or even cherry rhubarb. Delicious. Root beer float. That sounds pretty good. Snapple lantern. That looks pumpkiny, and that sounds disgusting. This shit just got serious, but they blanked the shit out. Superhuman. Look at that. It looks like Play-Doh. Look at that one. Superhuman. It looks like Play-Doh. What the hell is this? Zoreo. Meet your new kryptonite. Cherry, Blue Moon, and vanilla ice creams combine forces to bring you one super scoop. Man, I don't think I'd like that. So there you go. The chocolate shop. And they have right at the top, banana cream pie, right at the top. Charlie says Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey. There you go. Yeah, I haven't had a Ben & Jerry's in a while. Chocolate chip cookie dough from Ben & Jerry's was always my favorite growing up. Brian tells Donald he'll hook him up. He'll be your dealer for that cereal. Banana shakes or Elite 140 War. Sports card ripping teacher. Chocolate shop ice cream in Madison doesn't have a banana. Wow, you were on it, man. You were on it. We got there. Troy, yes, you did. Thanks for the great information and tips last night. You betcha. Whitey's ice cream, Graham Central Station, add banana and peanut butter blended into a shake. That does sound good. Whitey's ice cream, for those in the Quad Cities area, is a delicious. It's the chocolate shop of the Quad Cities. John says you need to pay a Walmart employee to tell you when banana ice cream is restocked. I guess that's what you have to do these days. It's cutthroat out there. Freeze peeled bananas, put them in a blender with a little milk, and you get natural, delicious banana, quote, ice cream. There you go. I used to do that. I went through a phase where I was making a lot of smoothies. And so I would freeze bananas and strawberries and all that and blend those up and make a little smoothie. Des says if the customer has a P.O. box for shipping, then it does not go through authentication. Interesting. I think, did this buyer have? Oh, I'm still on it. So let's see. Go back. Where's his address? No, he's got a street address, not a P.O. box. And it still didn't. I wonder if it's because of the multiple purchase, if it's the multiple item purchase. My thought process was, okay, he bought multiple cards. It's probably going to be in two separate transactions where the Ichiro is going to be shipped off to authentication. The other stuff is going to be shipped to him. But no, everything's going to him. Which kind of makes me like, in these situations, I like the authentication because it gives the seller an extra barrier of protection where hopefully everything ends up well. The Wander relic has been confiscated as evidence. So speaking of Wander in Series 1, and I don't know what the checklist looks like, but I don't think I pulled any Wanders out of Series 1. But I did notice that I as I was listing yesterday, I got to the Tampa Bay Rays team card. And, usually on the team cards, they want to put like the better players in the photo, right? So I'm like, I wonder if Wander Franco made the team card image. And I don't think I have. I think it was in this pile. So I'm looking at the image and I want to see, hey, how about that? Right here. So I wanted to see the image. So Randy Arozarena is kind of which the Rays do have a couple guys that they could feature as the guy on the team card. But take a look at that. And I don't know if it might be kind of blurry for you, but I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't see Wander Franco in this photo. He's in there, but he's hidden. I wonder if they did this on purpose Where's my, so Wander Franco is that guy right there. He's obstructed. I'm having trouble here, but there you go. He's that guy right there. So I'm like, I wonder if that was just by happenstance or if that was like, okay, we need to wash Wander Franco from cards from now on. Like, we don't want him in photos. We're not making cards of him. And I mean, I guess the news came out during the season, but I mean, they're putting this to work. I'd be curious if that was like a pivot, like, okay, we've got a team. Well, we got to go with a different image. Because they would have had time, like when all this stuff came out, and I think they would have had time. Zach wants to know, are we flipping cereal boxes? We could. Brian says, I'm not sure it works that way. John says, black raspberry is my goat ice cream. I don't know if I've ever had black raspberry. Zach says, I'd make a lucrative amount of money creating videos where Bo debates himself on things he enjoys and doesn't enjoy. That is very true. Ask me what my favorite baseball card product is, and I'll give you 7 different answers in 3 minutes. Mashing clips of himself arguing with himself from different videos. That's true. John says, my wife's favorite flavor is rum raisin. That is by far the most difficult flavor to find out in the wild. Finally located some at Wegmans. I needed the internet to help. Interesting. Rum raisin ice cream. Neil, good morning. Kale batter fudge for me. Never heard of that one either. Chocolate chip cookie dough. That's a good old standby, man. Chocolate chip cookie dough. Mint chocolate chip was one of my favorites as a kid because green was my favorite color. It's like I liked the color green so much that I forced myself to enjoy green flavored everything. Even spinach. Neil says we have a place that has over 125 flavors, all homemade. Can get as many samples as you like. Oh man. There's one in where are you at, Neil? There's a I don't know what kind of a chain it is, but I know there's a couple. But down in Florida, around where is it? I think it's Brendy's. Is Brendy's I don't know if Brendy's is a chain or if it's just in Delray. I thought there were multiple locations, but Brendy's was that's where we would go when I would go down there. That was one of our spots. Des says we lost him in the ice cream rabbit hole, never to be heard from again. Yeah. Now I need to make a trip to the chocolate shop. Good morning, Brian. Hey, next time we meet up, Brian, let's just have lunch at the chocolate shop, get some ice cream. Sports card ripping teacher says the old string and dollar trick. Flipping sports guy bought the kids some blasters yesterday, and wow, they're a ripoff. Down to 84 cards for the same $25 price. Is that top Series 1? I wouldn't say that's a ripoff. I think that's still a really good deal. It used to be, I think, even last year, I think it was 100 cards for $25. But here's the thing. I think 84 cards, $25 is perfectly reasonable today. What was trying to think of what. So in my jumbo boxes were, let's see. Oh, they were, yeah. So the jumbo boxes, I was paying about 40 cents a card in the jumbo boxes. So 25 divided by 84 is like 30 cents. So, I mean, sure, you're not getting the hits like you would in a hobby box, in a jumbo box, but well, you might, you never know. So I think that's a more than fair price. John says eBay continues to confound. Why would a PO box preclude authentication? That's my thought process. Initially, I thought, well, maybe it's because of the shipping service they use, but they send them through regular mail, just like everything else. Because like UPS, you can't ship to, well, you can ship to a PO box through UPS and FedEx, but you have to have the street address of the post office. If you just send it to a PO box, UPS is going to be like, PO box, which post office, if you're in a city. So they're like, no, you have to have the street address, which was something I learned when I was doing a bunch of trades. I was giving my PO box out and it, got rejected. It's like, well, you need the street address. Sports card ripping teacher says, this just got serious. Best ice cream I've had. Yes. John says, sounds like loopholes abound. John says, wait, blasters and boxes are ripoffs. I think he's being facetious. Mikey says, I just went to Walmart and found Prism basketball blasters and Donruss basketball megas. Nice. Blasters are never great. I just meant rip off in the amount of cards for the price. It's like Breyers and their constant shrinking of the pint of ice cream. So yeah, I think last year blasters were 100 cards for $25. Now they're 84 cards for $25. And the sets increased from 330 to 350, I think. Mikey says, I got a LeBron James silver and Sasser green prism and a Wemby Donruss magician. That sounds like some pretty good hits. David said, I saw a YouTube video which stated ordering multiple items will circumvent the eBay authentication process as long as one of the items does not qualify. That's kind of shady. Like that kind of gives me a little pause. Like, oh, it feels dirty. But I will say though, the person that bought this card also had a very strong offer and he bought it and paid for it. So I don't expect any, as AIH would say, hanky panky. Flipping Sports Guy says the kids were upset. They were like, wait, 84 and where's the relic? That was always included. So there wasn't even like a medallion in the box. Kind of sucks, but your kids are learning a life lesson. There you go. John says, shameless, shameful promotion. This week's Hobby Think Tank focuses on face of the franchise. Wander did come up. And unfortunately, he's the face of the franchise for not good reasons today. But say hello to Mr. Randy Arozarena, the new face of the Tampa Bay Rays. Neil says he lives in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. Okay. Oh yeah, I was asking what if you were in the Florida area. Let's see. We have is it Handles? In my area, they have wonderful flavors. Handles. Brendy's has a few locations in South Florida. Okay, I thought they were a smaller chain. I didn't think they just had the one. Series 1. Oberweis chocolate peanut butter is my go-to. Oberweis has some good stuff. John says the dude's name is Flipping Sports Guy. Series 1 is no longer flippable. But was it ever? Actually, you know what? I'll pit. Series 1 is the best flipping product of the entire year for baseball cards. Top Series 1. People would tell me this up until a few years ago. You'll make the most money flipping Series 1. And I'm like, that's silly. Because my mind thought, I find these cards in dime bot. Like next year, like these cards are like dime cards. Like nobody wants Series 1. You put some 2020 tops rookies and inserts, and nobody wants them. Top Series 1. Nobody wants that stuff. Like it's terrible. And then I'm like, okay, I'll try this. I bought a couple hobby boxes, got them on release date, listed them. Like, holy shit. Like I tripled my money. Even without the Ichiro sale, I'm going to make a profit on my case. And I probably have already made a profit without the Ichiro on Top Series 1 just in the first day. It is, if you, like I said, if you know what you're doing and if you get it on or before release day and you list everything, good things will happen. And it's by far the best return on any product if you're ripping and flipping. Because, Bowman is another one. Bowman's another guy. I would say Top Series 1 is number 1. And you can afford more of it based on the price of the boxes. Bowman, if you get lucky and find blasters early or get them early, that would be your best way to go, because hobby boxes, it's going to be hard to recoup that money. Other stuff, it's not as lucrative. Zach says the face of all franchises should be the fan. Taylor Swift. Hey, they actually upper decked cards like that back in the early to mid 2000s. Because I was like one of the Cubs fans, celebrity fans was. The hell was his name? I didn't even know he was a Cubs fan. It's like these are like upper deck. Come on, Chris. He played, was it Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Chris something. And I'm like, this guy, like he's never singing the stretch. I never see him at Wrigley. I don't see him wearing Cubs stuff. He's a Cubs fan. Not that means you're not a fan if you're not singing the 7th inning stretch or wearing Cubs gear on a movie set, but I didn't know. Flipping Sports Guy says, who buys blasters to flip? Blasters for the kid. I buy blasters to flip. Bowman blasters right behind Top Series 1 for flipping. TD Sports Cards, what's going on? Good morning. And what I mean by flip, I mean rip and flip, not just buy boxes and sell them, resale. I'm talking about ripping and flipping, not just buying sealed wax and flipping. Mikey says, I don't flip wax blasters. I always rip them. Same here. Bitcoin. There's our crypto update from our crypto master low roller scratcher, $52,000. It keeps going to the moon. Johnny M says the best part of eBay authentication is that once they have the card, the seller is no longer responsible for it. I always send to them with signature confirmation. Yeah, that always takes a little stress off of you. John says, apologize for my confusion. I had assumed flippers flip, just as if your name was Meth Fiend for Life. I would assume you partake in the crystal arts. Zach says your commitment is commendable. Mike, curious, how long is your commute to work each day? Do you deal with a lot of traffic? It's a good question. John says you should drop authentication bound cards, should be dropped at the PO and scanned. After that, it isn't your problem. Oh yeah, that's definitely something that's going to be taken to the counter. Not dropped it's going to be boxed. It's not going to be sent in a bubble mailer. It's going to be sent in a box. Porter says 0 Series 1 in my town, stopped at Barnes & Noble, Target, and 2 Walmart stores. Nada. I expect Series 1 to be flooded at my local retail outlets today. Brian says, ice cream for lunch, I'm down, but we need to stop at Ice Cream Social too. I've never heard of that one. Where's that? They have some amazing flavors. There's also, what's the Union? The University Union has an amazing, and I think they have one in South, UW Union ice cream. Its name, the Daily Scoop. Is it the Daily Scoop? Babcock Hall. That's what it is. Babcock ice cream. That's what. Is it the University Union? Babcock. Unicorn Cupcake says, is Breyers even ice cream anymore? I think it's called a frozen dairy dessert. Interesting. Ooh, getting fancy. Brian says, if the face of the franchise was solely based on the looks of a player's face, who should the Rays use? Good question. I don't know. Let's see. Low Roller says, why your Ichiro didn't get eBay authentication? Because he bought multiple items. He bought, I think, 8 cards in his order. So apparently that circumvents the authentication process. Jeff's Card Journey. Where all the Ellie De La Cruz hype? I think I've sold all of my Ellie De La Cruz. Let me see if the base have sold. But my Ellie De La Cruz have been moving, baby. Ellie here. By the way, if you're so inclined, check out my eBay store and find all the Series 1 you can handle. So let's see. I sold 3 of the team card with Ellie on it. I sold the SB. I don't even know what insert that is, but that's sold. I sold the rainbow foil. Sold another team card. I sold the home run challenge. Let's see. Sold the greatest hits. Sold the 89 base version. Another team card. Another team card. None of the base, though, so I'm going to have to drop the price of the base. But But yeah, I think all of the inserts have sold for Ellie De La Cruz out of my store. Good morning, Sheena. What's happening? John says, I witnessed De La Cruz being the most hyped player in a sale last night. I think Chris O'Donnell. Thank you. Chris O'Donnell. Yes. He probably is the most hyped in this product. He's definitely the chase for rookies. Kyle says, I think there's a lot of FOMO buying with any new release. As a collector, you don't have to have the cards right now. Absolutely. Absolutely. Chris O'Donnell. Brian's names every Chris in Hollywood. You're 0 for 3. Chris O'Donnell. Let's see. He was Robin. Yes. I knew he was in one of those movies. So he played Robin. John says, White Sox franchise face would have to be a fan, perhaps one with a pocket knife and a son in tow. There you go, Brian. You got it. Low Roller says, my skill game have been shut down since the greedy government want to tax us playing skill games. It might come back in July. There you go. So Low Roller is unemployed right now. Now he's just a crypto baron. Jeff says, go White Sox. Boo. Sports card ripping teacher says, oh, geez, we don't need Ronnie Woo Woo on a card too. Tony La Russa is the face of the franchise. WFH again. I missed traffic a little. I really enjoyed my podcast. Working from home. Let's see. Sports card ripping teacher says, have a great day. Babcock at the Union. Team Kansas card says, will you buy the Topps jumbo cases for other sports? Football used to have some nice stuff. I would right now, I would say probably not, but that could very well change. So it depends on I don't buy boxes of football and basketball because they're I don't know the market. Maybe they're not crazy priced from Panini, but to me it does. And I don't enjoy I have football and basketball in my store, but it's, sometimes it's new. It depends on what I get in bulk. I'm a baseball guy. So never say never. Right now, if I had to say a hard yes or a hard no, I would say no. But things change. Let's see. Flipping Sports Guy says, I was surprised. I didn't think my Walmart would have cards. It's been 3 months since they've had anything. Shelf was fully stocked. Guess they had no choice with Series 1. There you go. Folks, I'll say it one more time. You can't have Series 1 and banana ice cream in your region at the same time. We're living in a post-2008 reality now. Greed is no longer good. Michael says, the best ice cream I've ever had is Grater's. I think they are out of Ohio. You should be able to find it. Grater's. Am I pronouncing it right? Probably not. Flawed Thinkers in the house. Good morning. Been making some great sales on Discord. I've been getting lowballed so badly on eBay the past couple days. I feel like taking best offer option off my listings. So for us, just deal with it, man. Sometime, and we talked about this last night on the Dollar Boxes live show on YouTube. And I don't know what type of seller you are, but if you're a volume seller, it's imperative to have offers open. Is it annoying to get dollar offers on a $1.50 card? One card? Yes. But there's many times where if I took offers off, I wouldn't make a $100 sale or a $50 sale or a $20 sale because somebody comes in and offers $1 on X amount of cards. So maybe you're doing higher end cards, not in volume, but in volume, I would strongly recommend setting offers. T-Timer says, I bought some NOLA cards from you. Cards were protected and fine, but envelope was trashed. Yeah, that's why it's there's a fine line. I'm glad they got to you. Protected and fine. But there's dealing with there's a you want to protect the cards, but you also have to be careful with the you don't want to go overboard on protection if you're sending white envelope, because then they could get jammed up. I don't know if that was the case in this instance, but it's dicey sometimes. But all in all, if they get there fine, all is good. Brian says, I think I will buy my Topps from Temu. Is it Temu? I don't think I caught any of the commercials. I must have been in La La Land. I don't know. Bet they have Wander in Series 1. Brian says, found a buyer for my 1990 to 99 Upper Deck cards. When I told him I have over 2,000, he only wanted to buy 250 cards. Why ask for set help if you don't want the help? Well, maybe he only wants to buy 250 for his set. I don't know. Porter says, I can make my own banana ice cream. Give me Series 1 now. My Hobby and 2 Fanatics blasters are tracking more March 7th. Ouch. Where did you buy? My question would be, where did you buy from? Michael says, going from 98 to 84 cards is about a 15% reduction. Makes sense in this climate. Low Roller says, do you have Caitlin Clark basketball cards? I have one. It's not in my quarter box. None of my Caitlin Clarks are in quarter boxes. I've got, I'm going to throw that on eBay because she's going to break the scoring record whenever they play next, which might be tonight. I'm not sure. But yeah, I have one Caitlin Clark card. And yes, it's going on eBay soon. That's what I had for today. So hit up my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Plenty of top Series 1 still available. Buy 7 or more and you'll get 25% off at checkout. Check it out, 99centcards.com. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow's a free-for-all. We play Name That Player. I'll go live on Saturday morning. And let's see. No Hobby Evolution on Sunday. I will be at the Janesville Card Show this Sunday. I'll have dime boxes and dollar boxes. Dollars and dimes at the Janesville Card Show on Sunday. Let's say hello to Greg Lopez. What's going on? Flawed Thinker says, for reference, I'm getting $15 offers on cards that sell for $70 every day. I almost always accept offers on my $20 and less cards. So that's annoying, but I would just deal with it. I mean, it's annoying. So a lot of times I just ignore them. Like I don't even respond. And I think that's probably eBay. eBay probably doesn't like that. They want you to at least decline or counter. But yeah, a lot of times I just ignore those. This is interesting. Unicorn Cupcake almost bought a used tampon and pad machine. It only took 1 quarter each side for $30. Too much work to figure out how to get it to vend cards, though. There you go. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit up my eBay store. Live again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central. See you then.